welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK and WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks always for making your way here, for checking out the episode. Please do hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with all the interviews that I put out every single week, new and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That makes it a great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover the new ones. You can do so anywhere in podcast land, Spotify, Apple Podcast, at NPR, WFPK.org, Consequence, YouTube for the video versions, or anywhere you get your podcast from. Subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. And that's me, Kyle Meredith, today talking with actor Aldis Hodge. You know Aldis from, let's see, Black Adam, Leverage, and Leverage Redemption. He was in One Night in Miami, Straight Outta Compton. He's back in a new movie called Marmalade. This also stars Keery and Camila Morrone. And I'm going to read the synopsis here. It's Marmalade's an edge-of-the-seat crime-tinged romance tale. Recently incarcerated Baron, played by Keery, strikes up a friendship with cellmate Otis, played by Aldis Hodge, a man with a well-versed history of prison breaks. As the pair hatch an escape plan together, Baron recalls a story of how he met Marmalade, played by Camila Morrone, the love of his life, and their Bonnie and Clyde style scheme to rob a bank in order to care for his sick mother and give the couple the life they've always dreamed of. It's a very fun movie with a lot of twists and turns. We're going to hear all about how he found his character, getting to play more comedy than he usually gets to play, and sort of where he draws from for that inspiration, and lots more. So let's jump into it. We're talking about the movie Marmalade. It's Kyle Meredith with Aldis Hodge.
What's happening?
It's good to meet you. I was going to say, just quickly off topic, because I was looking around. I'm based here in Louisville, and knowing that you had any connection to Muhammad Ali in One Night in Miami, and you've done Jack Daniels spots, gives me a certain affinity to you anyway.
Dig it.
Yeah, man. So Marmalade, I went into this movie blind, and I'm so glad I did. I mean, it's a fun movie. There's some great twists and turns. It's got a sweetness and a poetry to it that I didn't exactly expect. That was really nice and welcome. I know this is the old chestnut to get it started, but what was it about this that attracted you? What did you like about it?
The most attractive thing was sort of the twists going on in the film. With the character in particular, first of all, I said there's a lot of fun to be had here. And as an actor, I kind of want to be challenged. I want to be put outside of my comfort zone and kind of dip into places that I love and haven't had a chance to really, explore. So with me, love comedy, haven't had a lot of comedic opportunities. This definitely presented itself as such. And I like the catches, when I read the script and I said, oh, I didn't catch that. Oh, this changed. And I could imagine how the audience is going to take it. So I just wanted to push for that. And yeah, it was just fun. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. A lot of time, of course, we see you in a jail cell opposite Keery's character. And it's sort of jumping off what you said there, too. It's like not having a lot of comedic opportunities before this. You've been doing this for a long time now, so you might be past the point of like influences and stuff. But when you get into something new, like, do you have other roles in mind or anything like that? I mean, to kind of help you get there?
Not necessarily drawn off from other roles. I mean, there are things that have influenced me, just growing up, things that I found funny growing up that have influenced my comedic style. And then my history from stand-up, I did about I think roughly around like eight or so years of stand-up. Those sort of like foundational building blocks have shaped my approach to my humor. So anytime I see an opportunity, it really comes down when it comes to comedy, it's about comedic tone and timing, because that's really what comedy is. And the thing that sort of marries well with a film like this is that everybody has they're just right outside the edge of pushing the limits. You know what I mean? You have the staples who are kind of like resolute in who they are, but then they're playing a character which gets to be a little bit outlandish. And then you have the real townsfolk who are really who they are, which naturally seem a little outlandish, but all the tones sort of married nicely. And the balance I thought was really great. So when I saw the film, I was like, oh no, it's not too much. It's we're right where we need to be in that sweet spot. So that was really sort of a refreshing part of this whole project was just being able to create and figure out what that balance is. It's a way to work out your muscles.
I like that you said that because walk tall and clench your butt cheeks is a line I laughed out loud at. Was that on the page?
It was not, sir.
Well done.
The thing is, like, so working with Keery was great because, like for me as an actor, but also as a writer, I respect the writing wholly. As a producer, um, you understand there's a collaborative process that goes into building out. So, like, I thought the script and what was on the page was already great, and then Keery gave me the free range to really fill up the character in different ways that I thought natural. And we've talked about this ad nauseum before we even got to shooting because Keery, like, I talked to Keery probably a year or two before we even started shooting about the project. Um, and I was already sort of anchored in since then. So been a minute, we were just trying to put the pieces together. But with this, just he just gave me the freedom to sort of take the character in the direction I saw fit. And I would just say a bunch of random things. And, I would judge based off of the crew. If the crew laughed and they were laughing behind the camera, then I'm like, all right, yeah, we're good.
I'm going to use that one around the house, I'm sure. That's with Kier though, like I think it was said like this is the first time writer and directing for him.
Yeah.
You're a filmmaker as well. And like it's nice to hear that you all have that trust and relationship, but how much of that is a trust fall? How much of that when this is someone's first time kind of doing this all at once, is there much of that at the beginning?
Well, you kind of base it off of the information present at hand. Everything is a risk. I mean, you can work with somebody who's made 10 Oscar-winning films, and you can get on that one bad one where it's just like, you know what I mean? So it comes down to your heart's intention, regardless of who's making it, what's going on. Is this something that you stand behind? Are you going to put your support and faith behind this 100%, regardless of the scenario? And with a film like this, it's like, obviously I know, Keir's work as an actor. I know he's been in the business for a while. I know he already has the experience behind what goes into a well-made film. So that instilled trust. And then the way the script was written obviously showed experience. So for me, that was kind of really all I need. And when I talked to him and I heard his vision and kind of, where he wanted to go at this, I said, all right, cool. Like, I'm good with it because um, the foundation, the initial foundation for what it was great. And honestly, it really comes down to, do you love the script? All the other questions you ask later, but if you love the script and you're willing to jump on that, then I think you're good to start your journey walking into it. However it turns out, it's out of your hands. But you commit to it. And for me, I love the script.
Uh, with most of your scenes being with Joe in that jail cell
Yeah.
and hearing his accent and that
Mhm.
personality, I don't know how much you can speak of this, but like what was it like working against that? Because that felt like he was going somewhere that I've never seen him go.
Yeah, which was great. Again, he pushed and like I said, that was another area where you see, Kier really allowing us to fill out the characters and push how we needed to push. But the balance that we had to find was because the fact that we're both playing, two different people in this space, and him and the nature of how far he's going to push his character and the nature of how far I'm going to push my character, they kind of got a balance, you know what I mean? And we just had a good time finding that balance while we were working together. And it was a lot of fun because he's taking crazy risks, so am I. And, the magic moments that you see are what you get. But there's a lot of magic in between that was really sort of awesome to go through to figure out where we match with each other.
Yeah. And I'll only repeat you when you say, playing two different people, uh, because, but seeing like a character get into a character, I think is always fun. I mean, this is where it gets a little inceptionist
Yeah.
in acting in a way. And I don't know how much you can say that you haven't already said to that, but finding this guy that's in this jail and the way he talks, and I mean, there's an over the topness to it that he's trying to pull back. I mean, what was it like finding that part of it?
It was fun because as formative as this person is, there still needs to be sort of a chink in the human armor of not getting it all quite right, and everybody's deceiving everybody just from the top, everybody lying, you know what I'm saying? And that to me is kind of where the opportunity is. Um, how much does he believe in what is he doing? How much does he believe himself? Is he lying to himself while he's going through this? But or is he fully confident and boom, I got this in the bag and I'm this person, even though there's a little touch of ridiculousness, a ridiculosity to who he is in this moment. So for me, he's fully committed to the guy he's playing. But that just makes it funnier, especially when he's called out for it. We ain't got to get into details, but for me, it shows, I don't know, there's a fallible nature to somebody who's so serious and really trying, and still is good at his job, but, you know, still is kind of a little bit, he misses a few beats, which is the thing that I really most love about playing the character.
Well, I'll end by just saying it's also got a fantastic soundtrack with the meters and toots and delight and the cardigans. And I'm so looking forward also to Parallel, which this is a Hodge Brothers Productions, right? I mean, how much of your life is like shifting in that direction right now?
The majority of my life. I mean, that was always the step. My brother and I have been in this business for mm, 34, 35 years, at this point. And, for us, it was always aiming towards making our own films, writing, producing, been writing for a long, long time, just without, full on writing a credit, to a point, or having, put projects out there. This opportunity was brought to us by a friend of ours, who co-produced a project, and uh, we decided to take a little bit more of an in-depth role into it because we had a vision for it that the team was behind and they saw through. So we all worked together to make this thing happen. And for our first foray out into the world in this space, we had a great time learning about what the real process is behind filmmaking. When I think about what we did and think about like we did that at the same right after that, jumped on this set with Keery, and it was nice seeing sort of the duality between the hardships of trying to make a film on a very small budget, limited resources. And, Keery and I, we went back and forth on that for a little bit. Like, man, people don't realize making a movie, if you can get a movie done, you have accomplished the impossible.
It's impossible to make a movie. That's true.
Yeah, I had thought to him.
I look forward to seeing it. Marmalade was so fun. It was so great seeing you in this. Congrats on that. And dude, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Likewise. Thank you.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.